Hello, welcome to this series where we shall be proceeding further to processing other images of our choice. But before we go further, there are some things I would like you to know that I'll be carrying out in this particular video. So as a beginning, it will be ideal for you to have a prior knowledge of what you want to process. So if you have an interest in processing images, you should know how it looks like because it's going to guide you in the color and so that you don't need to do too much. It is very important that you have a prior knowledge. So this will enable you to check if your colors are accurate or if they are deviating. The second thing is there is no specific method of processing images. So some images are very hard to process, especially images that you have stars. You have lots of stars in the background, while some are very easy to process. So the method that you apply in processing a particular image may not be the method you would apply in processing others. What I mean is that assuming it took you about 10 steps to process a very hard image, it might just take you 5 steps to process a simpler one. So don't be rigid. So I stated it here. I said there is no specific method of processing images. Some images are some images require rigorous processing, while others only need a few adjustments. During my early days in image processing, I wanted to follow a defined path, but most of my final result deviated greatly from my expectations. So that is it. If you want to say you want to follow a definite path, you want to always do it this way, by the end your result will look so terrible. So you have to use your discretion because I told you this is like art and science coming together. Then images I will process in this video will be repeated for the three methods of colorization. I want to do this because I feel like I rushed it in the last video, so I would like to be slower. I would like to be more detailed in this one. So the image of our interest is M104, Messier 104, and I think this is a galaxy. So I did a simple Google search to know what this is, and this is what I found on the NASA website. This is M104, and look at the colorization, look at the environment. So this is the image I want to process. So I have a prior knowledge of the color. This is going to guide me through. So if I'm processing this image and I'm not getting this brownish colorization here, it means that maybe I did something wrong. So this is one of the processes of learning it. So let's go to the Hubble archive to look for M104. So here is my Hubble archive. Have searched for it M104 and these are my results. And I think I have displayed this image before in the first video or the second video. So you can scroll and search, but I don't want you to keep searching because I have some images in mind. I think it's in the second page. Here are the images that I have in mind. So the first one, these are wideband images taken with wideband filters. So this is going to be my blue, this is going to be my green, and this is going to be my white. So I have three complete sets. So you come over here, look at the size, it's quite large. You have to be mindful of that. You include them in your cart. 2, 3. Then you come over here up to 1.9 gig, huge. Then you fetch. Before now, I have downloaded this image before, so I want you to go ahead and download it and follow me on this interesting journey. So here is my images of the Sombrero Galaxy M104 with the three files showing the different filters. So I'm going to use the fit liberator to convert them from fit 5 to TIFF 5s. So starting with the first, with the blue, now change the image from linear to non-linear, which is the A sign of H. Then here you have this black clipping. The image is cut off. So to remove it from black clipping, drag this backward. Drag it backward. Because I see that it was beyond this blue line, showing the peak of the image. If you want to test it, if you bring it closer, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you take it beyond that peak, you have this black clipping. So that's why I dragged it backward. Though you have some white clipping, but I think those are artifacts. They're not the real data. So save. This is going to be our blue. This is going to be our blue. I'm saving it here. Let's do our green. Change it from linear to non-linear. Then drag it again like you dragged the first one. Then save. This is going to be my green. Then you copy the third image, which is the red. Then you change it from linear to non-linear. Again, drag it backwards to remove the black clipping. Then you save. And this is the red R. And now our images are ready, which are the blue, the green, and the red. We shall now proceed to Photoshop in order to add colors and also do some other things. And now in Photoshop, my first intention is to colorize this image using the copy and paste method, colorization method. And to do that, it has a special way of importing the images into Photoshop. And what is that way? That way is to go through File, then you go through Open, then you import the three images, your red, green, and blue. This is very particular if you're intending to colorize the images using copy and paste. You have to take note of that. And now I have imported my images. You can see the blue, the green, and the red. So, but before I colorize them, I have to stretch the images first. So to stretch it, let's begin from this red. You go to Image, Adjustment, Levels. This time, from experience, I wouldn't like to use the curve anymore. I would like to use only levels. I can get the result that I want from levels. So the black point is already in the right position. So I'm going to just move this. I'm going to just move this to any level that I want. That is good for me. Okay. I think this is okay. Okay. Come over to the green image. adjustment levels. I'm not going to the curves, but you might want to try the curves. But I don't want to, I've tried it before. I don't like the results, so I'm just going to use the levels to achieve my aim because I feel like this image doesn't need so much editing. Then, okay, then my blue, I have my image adjustment levels, then you drag it. And this is okay. Then now it's time to colorize my images. Starting from the red, I'm going to highlight it, Ctrl A, Ctrl C. Then you come over to Files, Open. So you have this image copied in your clipboard, and I said change it to from grayscale to RGB color. This is the way of sending information that you want RGB color. And make sure this is at 16 bits. Then you create. And you have another layer created for you to color your images. So to see the whole thing, you go to the channels. You would see your RGB, you see your red, your green, and the blue. And remember, we have the red copied in the clipboard. So let us remove the tick marks from the others and focus on the red. So you copy, you paste. So Control V. So it has pasted. Then you come over to the green channel. So the green image, you highlight Control A, Control C to copy, and come over here. You copy to the green. Uncheck this to the green. You paste. Control V. Then you come over to the blue. You highlight Control A, Control copy, and come over to this. You paste Control V. And now you have pasted it. You can click on RGB, and now you have your colored image, like exactly we saw it, like we saw it from the NASA website. So the next thing now is to do some other processing, like cropping it to, and also cleaning up, cropping and cleaning up. But I would like to show you how to get the same result using the color and hue colorization method. So I'm going to start from this finish from the beginning to the end. I want to perform the image processing of the M104 using the hue and saturation colorization method. And if you want to process your images using that colorization method, here is how to import those images. And how you import those images are exactly how you import for the layer colorization method. So you go over to File, you go to Script, Load Image into Stacks. Then you browse. You copy the blue, the green, and the red. Of course, this is where the file is located, so I'm copying the right file. Okay, then okay. And now my images have been imported. To see them, you click on Layers. You have your blue, the green, and the red. So the next thing is to stretch it. Let us stretch it. And to do that, let us uncheck these other ones. Let's start from the blue. Go to Image, Adjustment, Levels. You stretch it like we did before. I think this is okay. Then click OK. Come over here and check this one. Image, Adjustment, Levels. Keep stretching it to any level of your choice. I think this is okay. Come over to the other one. Image, Levels. Okay. So the next thing is to colorize our images. You highlight all of them. Come over to Image, Mode, RGB Color. Don't merge. And now it's time to colorize. So you must highlight one. My red is highlighted. You can uncheck the others if you want. So you come over to Layers, go to New Adjustment Layer, then go to Hue and Saturation. Use previous layers to create clipping mask. Check it. Okay. This is for my red. So you have this color bar here. You click on Colorize, and you have this new layer come out here. So starting, let me uncheck these other two. Starting from the red, our red is 0 and our saturation is 100 and this one is -50. You go over to the green, you uncheck this one, make sure you click, bring this highlight here to the green, do the same process again, layer, new adjustment layer, here in saturation. Okay, colorize, make sure you tick that, and green is 120. And here the saturation is 100 as always. and this is going to be -50. And we have done that. You come to the blue. Make sure you highlight blue. You have to make sure. Then click on layers, new adjustment layer. Here in saturation, click on this. Okay. My blue, sorry. Come over here and take. Then blue is 240. You have your 100. You have your -50. And that's it. So after colorizing your images, you take all of them, you come to the first, the blue, highlight it, you change it from normal to lighten, you come over to the green, change it from normal to lighten, and here you have your colored image, exactly as we saw it from the NASA website. So the next thing you have to do is to click on the red, you right click and flatten image. And now you have flattened your image. You can go ahead to crop it and also to perform all the things we stated in the cleanup section. So in the next one, I'm going to process this same image using the layer colorization method, which is actually my favorite method, and I recommend it to everyone learning image processing. I shall be performing an image processing using the layer colorization method. So, and we use the same way of importing images for hue and saturation method for the layer colorization method. So you simply go to the file, then script, load files from stack, and then you browse, you open, click OK. And now the images have been loaded. The first thing we are to do is to stretch the images one by one. I'm going to start from the blue, so I'm going to check the green and the red. Then I go to image adjustment levels. Then you drag this, you drag this. I think that is okay. Then you come over to this. Adjustment levels. Okay. Then okay. Then it's time to colorize it. You highlight all of them. You tick all of them. Then you go to image mode, RGB color, done merge. So we start the colorization. I'm going to check these ones. So starting from the red, you double click. Then you uncheck green and blue, leaving the red. Then you click on the green. You uncheck red and blue. Then come over to the blue. You uncheck green and red. And there you have your Sombrero Galaxy in full RGB color. Mine looks a little bit different, maybe because I was stressed it, maybe. So then you come over here to the first one, you change it from from lighting, from normal to lighting. Sometimes maybe consider luminosity. Oh, I don't think that's a great idea. Screen, is screen good? No, let me use lighting. Then lighting. So you come to this, you flatten the image. Flatten image. So after flattening the images, I should go ahead to remove some artifacts. I should clean up the data, I should remove the artifacts, and also to crop this image. So to remove the artifacts, I'm going to zoom first. Let me zoom because I can see some artifact there. So I can see some artifact. So you go to this icon, spot healing brush. Spot healing brush. You can change the radius from here, but I think the radius is okay. Then you highlight on any part on this screen, maybe this dark part. You highlight on it. Then you come over here. You clean up this space. Wow. I'll clean up these parts too because these are artifacts. So you have cleaned it. Then you go to the other one. I think there's another one. There you clean up. So look for other artifacts. Okay, let me crop. Perspective crop to. Oh, and this is how I processed my Sombrero Galaxy